Welcome back to Sim Ambassadors. I'm your host, Tyrese with co-host Aidan.
Hello.
And this week, we are going to be talking about 42. But before we get to talk about 42, I had not a question, but I want Aidan's thoughts about, about this certain genre of movies, biopics and in general. Because while we were watching it, I was I thought, I love Jackie Robinson. I didn't know him at first, which is crazy. I should know him because, he was really have an impact on the black community. And I feel like I should know who he was. But anyway, besides that, I just want to know your thoughts about biopics and like sport movies in general.
I love both because I'm huge into history and stuff. So I love biopics and I love sports movies because I love sports and I love the history of sports. So it kind of all blends my interests together really good.
Nice. Well, my thoughts about biopics is like I love them. I really do like them. I mean, there's some nice ones, and I know we do have a few down that we are going to talk about. Fast 42, we do have other two, but when it comes down to certain people, it's a hit or miss. Like the one that came out last year, I forget what it's called. It's about Winnie Winehouse. I don't know. I'd never know who that is, but I heard that one was pretty bad.
Amy Winehouse. I mean,
huh?
She's a singer.
Yeah, her.
I don't really know much about her personally.
But the three that I watched recently the past year was the Whitney Houston movie, the Elvis movie, and then the Iron Claw. And I thought those were really good. And then sport movies, I mean, I love them. I grew up on like basketball movies, some of them, not all of them. And I love how they get certain shots and then how they do it all and get like the crowd involved, like not crowd involved, like how they get crowds and all that good jazz.
Yeah, I like a lot of biopic. Like some of my favorite biopic movies is like Walk the Line. That's a Johnny Cash one. That one's really good. And then I saw The Light, which is the biopic about Hank Sr. and Tom Hiddleston plays Hank Sr. It's a really good movie. I enjoyed those. Those two biopics are probably my like top two about singular people that I've seen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What about Notorious? Because I know we put that on the list. But did you like Notorious?
I liked Notorious and I liked All Eyes on Me. Those two were good as well. I do have a bit of a like I like All Eyes on Me better because I just like Tupac more than I do Biggie. Those two are also good as well. But like I've especially for like Walk the Line, which is Johnny Cash. I've raised on Johnny Cash music. I've known about Johnny Cash for significantly longer than I have for the other three. So that's why that's why that one's like the cream of the crop for me when it comes to biopic movies.
So don't get mad at me. I'm about to say next. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think I ever heard a Johnny Cash song.
Oh, you probably have. You probably just don't know about it.
Yeah, probably. Because like when people talk about that Walk the Line one, I haven't watched it yet. I probably should. And two, I don't really know if I ever heard his song. Same with what's the dude that the movie that came out with Bob Dylan, the Bob Dylan movie that came out this year. Like I don't think I ever watched Bob Dylan. I heard his music, but I might have.
I don't know any Bob Dylan songs by Bob Dylan, but I do know of some of his songs. I just don't know sung by him. I'll probably watch that movie as well whenever it comes not in theaters because I like Timothy Chalamet.
See, I don't know if I want to watch it because of Timothy Chalamet. I mean, a lot of people have their thoughts about him. I just think he's overrated.
I like him a lot. I think he's a great actor.
You do?
I do. I love him. I love him as an actor. Love the Dune movies. There's a few other movies I've seen him in that I can't think of right now that I like him as an actor. He's a good actor.
He was in the Netflix movie Don't Look Up. He had a small role.
I think I saw that movie. Oh, he's also in the movie another biopic movie, kind of loosely based off on that I really liked. The King. That was a good one.
What's it called?
It's called The King. It's based on he's Henry V. The rise of Henry V.
First I thought he's a Citizen Kane. I'm like, Aidan, that's not a biopic.
Not Citizen Kane, dumbass.
That's what I thought you said for me. Like, huh?
The King.
Did you cut out for it? The King cut.
Yeah. I like him. I like him more than some other actors that are around. Like I like him more than I do Zendaya.
That's now you're saying that like there are no. I mean, I guess you thought like new generation actors. I guess he's good. I mean, he does definitely have the chops.
I mean, yeah, I think he because he has a whole wide range, and he kind of I don't know. I like his movies, and I've listened to him on a few different like podcasts and stuff. He's pretty cool. Seems like a pretty cool guy.
That's good. But now, you have any more thoughts about biopics and sport movies before we get into it?
Now let's get right into the meat of it.
Okay. So, 42, the Jack Robinson story. I got to, I already know your thoughts related to whole Rotten Tomatoes, but since I've already, been starting doing it, I'm just gonna think I like your thoughts about it, even though you have, your thoughts. But the tomato meter, dog, the critics, 80%, and audience 85%. Thoughts, Aidan?
I mean, I can see it. It's good.
I agree with it. I mean, it's a good movie, and I think them doing that was really shocking.
Yeah, it's one of the few times that the critics are ever like remotely close to being right.
True. But so 42 is, if you don't know who Jack Robinson is, he's a famous football player, baseball player.
He's also the only person whose numbers are retired by every team in the MLB.
Mm-hmm. I got the overview right here too, so I can read. In 1946, Branch Rickey, who's played by Harrison Ford, legendary manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers, defies Major League Baseball notorious color barrier by signing Jack Robinson, played by Jack Bozeman, to the team. The heroic act puts both Rickey and Robinson in the firing line of public and the press and other players. Facing open racism from all sides, Robinson demonstrates true courage and admirable restraint by not reacting in kind unless his undeniable talent silence the critics for him. Critics? Yeah, critiques for him? Yeah, and for him, yeah. Look at that! I remember you better that time, Aidan.
Yeah, you're getting there. You're starting to get literate.
But, first time watching it, what was I at? I remember my parents bought the movie, and I didn't know that was Harrison Ford that played the manager. Did you first time watching it?
Hell yeah, I did. I'm not fucking retarded.
Oh, sorry.
It's just like him. It's literally just Harrison Ford with like brown hair.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really know him. Like, as a kid, I didn't know, of Harrison Ford like that, besides Star Wars, but he was younger in Star Wars.
No,
besides Force Awakens.
I like Harrison. I love a lot of Harrison Ford movies. There's a lot of good ones out there. The Blade Runner movies, Air Force One's a good Harrison Ford movie. A lot of good Harrison Ford movies out there.
Yeah, but with 40, what was your reaction first time watching 42? And were you a kid, teenager, now?
Probably a teenager. I mean, it's when I started getting back into baseball. Because I was into baseball when I was a youngin', of course. And then I kind of got out of it for a while because I kind of stopped caring about sports for a while. Then about sophomore year of high school, started getting back into all sports. Started getting back into football and baseball and everything. So then I started watching a bunch of baseball movies and stuff. So I watched 42, and of course I knew about Jackie Robinson. I knew about the color barrier and all that because that's always talked about. So I kind of knew a bit about it, but I didn't really know about the whole. I just didn't know about the plot, I guess, of him getting to the Brooklyn Dodgers. I knew that he got there. I knew he did well there, and he faced a lot of stuff. I didn't know that he had to go from he went. Well, I knew he was playing on the Negro Leagues, but I didn't know that he went from the Negro League to the minors, which. Interesting little fact about the minor system thing I'm going to talk about for a second. Branch Rickey, before he was in charge of the Dodgers, was in charge of the Cardinals, the St. Louis Cardinals, which is my team. And while he was at the Cardinals, he's the one who instituted the farming system. He's the one that created the farming system because he knew that the Cardinals weren't able to go out and buy all the big players and that their scouting talent wasn't exactly that good, like all the big players like the Yankees and the Red Sox and stuff. So he created a farm system, which gave a lot more baseball players in America chances to play professionally, and then gave them a chance to go up into the majors, and that's a big way he got the Cardinals in like the early 1920s and stuff. It's a way he got a bunch of good talent there and won, I think, like 3 or 4 pennants or World Series with the Cardinals back then. So because of Branch Rickey, we have the farming system.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was before he went over to the Dodgers and did all the stuff with Jackie Robinson and everything that kind of gave him the most of his fame nowadays, at least.
True. Well, so in a way, I guess that you think that the Dodger, like Jack Robinson signing Dodgers, helped him like get that fame, or he would always have that fame because of what he did beforehand.
I think this definitely gave him the fame in the mainstream, especially since baseball's really kind of declined in popularity throughout, like from like the 70s on. Kind of declined in popularity, and football's kind of brought that up. So I feel like unless you really kind of are a nerd about stuff like I am and love history, you wouldn't really have had that deep dive into a bunch of different historic elements about baseball, and you probably wouldn't have known about that stuff. So like, I imagine if you went to Cooperstown, New York, where the Baseball Hall of Fame is, you'd probably figure that shit out, like read plaques about all that stuff. But I bet people wouldn't really know because, like, you know, baseball's really kind of gone downhill in popularity throughout the modern era. So the movie probably helped him a lot more than the movie and signing Jack Robinson probably has helped him a lot more in the national minds nowadays than people would about the farm system and stuff.
Mm-hmm. You know, now just think about it, and I mean, I'm sidetracking back. So when movies like 42 and biopics throw an element in there that like never happened, you're like, I can't think of specific. Like, say something that never wasn't true, and that actually happened, like in the movie, and then you look it up. It's like, oh no. Like for instance, like the Iron Claw. It's based on Von Erich's family, and like they had 6 brothers, but only showed 5 of them in the film. Like, does that drive you crazy when it doesn't get historical accurate with like the real life, or is not really that big a deal?
It doesn't.
Depending.
It doesn't drive. I guess it depends on how inaccurate the historical thing is, because like usually it won't, like, because like and even for like the NWA movie, like they had MC Ren join from the beginning, and MC Ren didn't join in the beginning. He came in like a year later. That didn't drive me exceptionally crazy, because it's like it's not exactly plot relevant, because like it's just about the NWA coming into prominence. So like if it's something that's not a huge a plot pivotal point that they kind of lied about, then it's fine. But if something that's like a massive lie that's kind of central to the plot, then that's when it's more like a what are we doing here, guys? Like that's just a blatant lie. I can't really think of one that has done that, but I imagine it's happened before.
Yeah, and back to 42 now. I was going to ask you, so how do you think Chadwick Boseman did as performance? Because they had someone else considered for it. Before I tell you like who was the person, what was your thoughts about Chadwick Boseman's performance as Jack Robinson?
I thought it was a good performance. I think he displayed the emotional part well. I think that Chadwick Boseman didn't really capture Jackie Robinson like physically as well, because Jackie Robinson was kind of a tall dude and kind of a bit like more built, looked a bit like his face was a bit stronger looking, you know, like you see pictures of him.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think he did great actor, like great acting, like with like all the emotional parts, and which I mean kind of was the purpose of it. So I mean I think he did fine. I think he did good.
I did like I really did like Jack Boseman's performance. I was looking at his filmography before this. I think this film what helped him get in some movies. Because after this, he was in the movie called The Draft, which is about the draft, and then Eyes of Egypt, and then later on, a couple years later, everyone knows that he plays Black Panther. So I feel like this movie does help him, and I think I agree with you. Like he did have a good performance. I felt emotional, connected with him. But if you're talking about like trying to make them look like Jackie, they could have went through a different route.
Yeah, like this is nothing against Chadwick Boseman, but I mean he just didn't look to the same standard as like a baseball player in the 1940s, at least specifically Jackie
And
Robinson.
yeah, and R.I.P. to Chadwick Boseman. And the person that was going to play him, and also the film wasn't going to be directed by Spike Lee. And Spike Lee originally planned to write and direct a Jack Robinson biopic with Denzel Washington in the lead. But however, the project fell apart in 1996 due to creative differences. So this movie always planned on coming out, but it took them so long because of that and finding a different director.
I'm kind of glad that Spike Lee didn't direct it. Not to say I don't like the way Spike Lee directs, because I thought The Black Klansman was a good movie, but I'm not the biggest fan of Spike Lee because like, and I get like with this movie it very much has like the racial and political elements of it, but I feel like Spike Lee adds too much political element sometimes. And as someone who just wants to watch a sports movie, it doesn't really care about the political aspect at the time because like of course you can look at the political aspect at the time and think it's absolutely abhorrent from our standpoint. That's kind of how history works. But like, I just want to enjoy the movie and enjoy the point about him breaking through the color barrier. I don't really want to know too much about why it was so bad at the time because like, I know why it was bad at the time. We know why it was bad at the time because we have the hindsight. But like, it's something that like you kind of got to have that world building of this was acceptable at the time and why they were trying to break down that being acceptable and why they're trying to show everyone that it actually wasn't acceptable socially and how it was bad. So I kind of like the way I don't even know who directed it, but the director chose to do it the way he did it. I kind of enjoyed it that way.
I'll look at the picture real quick. Well, I'll look up the director real quick, Aidan. So, of 42, so we know how. So we just know who directed it. Because I'm curious now.
Brian Helgeland.
You beat me to it. Wait, what movies did he do?
I have no idea. Never heard. Of
he did A Knight's Tale.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
A Knight's Tale is a good movie.
It is a good movie.
And after that, he did I didn't even know that. And Harrison Ford. Well, this is a different movie. No, it says Harrison Ford was an Oscar Oscar nominee. Never mind, just kidding. Everybody knows Harrison Ford's Oscar nominee. I think I'm nominated for this movie. No, I agree with you about that, Aidan. I really do. But about how I just, for me being a biracial person, that I do agree. Like sometimes films do too much of the story, and I just want to know about the story. And like you said, a color barrier. Like you definitely see it, and how his like there's like the perfect scene for me is to explain it was when he was walking down spoilers by the way, if you haven't watched it, spoilers ahead. When he was walking down walking with his wife, and he saw the white guy came up to him, and he was like trying to protect her, and he's like I hope some of us hope you're doing good. You do some good for us, like do some good. We're rooting for you.
Yeah, that scene was really awesome because like up to that point, it was just nonstop racial abuse on Jackie Robinson because like this is when they were doing spring ball, so they were down in Florida, the South, and so like it was just nonstop racial abuse, and they were walking together, and this white guy kind of, to be fair, walked up rather menacingly, but then it was just like, hey, rooting for you, hope you do good. I just want you to know that not all of us down here the same way as some of the people you've run into so far.
Which I like that because you said it goes to 2 points. Like you have like we're with Jackie throughout the movie. You see what he's going through, what they're throwing at him. Then you have like the guy like that who's like, not all of us are like that. We're root for you, but we're like there's nothing much we like kind of like let him know like some of us white people are root for you.
Yeah, it's even like something. Also, I really liked about 42 was you could see all the character shifts in the Dodgers players, how they go from like a lot like they go from signing a petition, be like, we don't want Jackie on our team, to all but one player being like, hey, whenever something bad happens, like, hey, we're standing up for Jackie. Like, hey, don't do that shit. Like when the Phillies manager was saying all the things he was saying, and all the fun words, all the gamer words he was saying, when he was saying all that, and you know his one of the Dodgers players, and like actually was someone that was teammates with the Phillies manager, came up to him and said, "Hey, don't say that shit again. I'll knock you out," or something like that. It's like, you don't say
No,
that
literally.
shit. It was really cool seeing the shift of the Dodgers players, most of them coming like wanting to play with Jackie and being happy that Jackie was on the team and stuff, like to the point where like even some of the players that requested trades end up going to Branch Rickey's office and go, "Hey, I don't really want that trade anymore. Thank you. I'm gonna stay here with Jackie."
Like, there's three favorite parts from like character change was one. I think his name's Pee Wee, the one who goes outfield. Because at first he's like, "Hey, like I think I would have playing at Cincinnati. I think they played at."
Yeah, he's the short.
And he's like,
he's the shortstop.
He said, "Hey, I have family out there, and like they don't want to play me. I'm getting these threats." And then that's when Harrison Ford's character is like, "I got threats too. Like, trust me. Like, you don't know. I'm going through the exact same thing." So he went out in the field.
Well, actually, what happened? What happened with that one was he had the one letter where it was like, "Hey, don't come to the field with that slur," and then Branch Rickey showed the letters that he had kept from Jackie that were literal death threats to him and his family because he's playing on the Dodgers. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then it was, yeah, that scene was ended really cool when he came over and threw his arm around Jackie when they were in Cincinnati, and as they were talking. That was that was a cool scene.
I did like what he said. Like, one day everyone will be wearing 42. Like that. Like, I guess that line was actually said. Like he actually said.
Yeah, that line was actually said, and it actually did come true because once a year, I think in May, everyone wears 42 in every team in the majors.
And then another one was, oh, what's his name? I don't know his name, but it was when they're showering. He's like, "Jackie, come shower with me."
Yeah, I remember his name either, but yeah, that was cool. Like when, yeah, and then you can see, and then in that scene you see the guy the one guy who did get traded off of the Dodgers. You can see him leaving, and everyone else kind of staying in the showers.
Mm-hmm. What's that guy? I'm about to look. That actor played that guy. Played him. I'm about to look up the character. I'm gonna look up the cast real quick because want to know. But also here we go. Names. Okay, Dixie. The guy who plays Dixie Walker is the one who walked out the shower.
Yeah, because Dixie Walker, he's the one that got traded to the Pirates. I think is who he got traded to.
From another side, they're like, he's at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. Yeah, because like at the time, Pittsburgh was very very much not the place you wanted to get traded to or be on, much like nowadays.
Mm-hmm. And then the third character who had a good change was Eddie Stanky. He's the one who went up to what's that guy's name? I'm going to look.
Ben Chapman.
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 Yeah, he's the one who went up to Chapman and is like, you better shut your mouth or I'm going to shut it for you. He had a good character change. At first, he wanted nothing to do with him. Then he sat there, and then Jack is like, "Hey, thank you." He's like, "What am I supposed to do? Let him like talk about you?"
Yeah.
He's like, "We're a team."
Yeah, that was cool. I also liked they didn't talk about him too much because he did get suspended for a year, but the manager that was originally the original manager for the what's it, the Braves? That's not right. The Dodgers. For the Dodgers, DeRocher, like, because he was like, "Hey, I'm just there to make money. Like, if you want him on the team, boss, he can be on the team, and I'll fix the team around, fix the team's antics, make sure that he's fine on the team. Because like, we're here to make money." I feel like he would have been a really good manager but MLB had to step in and be like, "No." The commissioner, who notably was a dick, was like, "No, suspended." Because if I remember right, that's the same manager, or sorry, the same commissioner that in a later in the movie 61, which is about the Eminem boys, Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. It's when Roger Maris broke Babe Ruth's home run record of 61.
Damn.
It's when he hit 61 home runs in a season, but they had to throw an asterisk the commissioner threw an asterisk on there because they were playing more games and stuff, but they also had like night games and cross country games. So like it was a thing that they wanted to preserve Ruth's record because Ruth is like basically Jesus of the baseball world, and like even kind of is to this day because he's just so influential and did so much. But like they wanted to preserve his record then, so like if it gets broken, since there's more games, we're gonna give him an asterisk since it's not technically breaking Ruth's record, which was BS and ended up getting overturned later, but was a whole big debacle back then.
Damn.
Yeah.
I can see I can see why that'd be a big deal because Babe Ruth was like you said Jesus of baseball. Like it'd be the same thing for basketball. Well, at first sure was like we have basketball players like Michael Jordan have a record, and then you got someone like LeBron James breaking a record, or like, well, no, he shouldn't be breaking that record.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but also kind of it's sort of similar.
Yes.
Just like it's a bit different because baseball's significantly older and they're kind of their records are kind of traditional. So like I mean, it'd be like if LeBron had like, or if Jordan had like I don't know what's a big number for basketball. I don't know like 200 like 100 and something points a game for like several games in a row.
I think so.
Because like I don't know much about basketball because that's a sport I don't care about. Because it's just the newest sport. I don't care. But and the seasonal records are kind of different because like basketball they do play a lot of games, but they don't play as many games as baseball. I don't think. 'Cause I think baseball plays like 160 or like 180 games a season, and I think basketball plays like what 150 maybe. I don't know.
Probably. No, don't quote us on that.
Don't quote me on the basketball one. I know baseball plays a fuckload of games.
But, don't quote us about basketball.
Yeah, don't quote me on the basketball stuff. It'd be like if like this long standing, it's not really a long standing, but if it was like some sort of long standing um baseball or basketball single season record that like someone recently broke. It'd be something sort of like that because like even before Babe Ruth broke the record with hitting 60, the record was previously held by someone in like the 1870s. So like from the 1870s, like the 1870s or 1880s. So like from the 1800s to like when Babe Ruth played in the 1920s and broke the 60, that was a bit of a time. Like it was, I think, more time that record was there than it was from Roger Maris breaking it. Because like it was a huge deal just because brand recognition for Babe Ruth, and if you're gonna get technical, there's kind of no one in any other sport that is as big as Babe Ruth is. Because like you talk to anybody that doesn't know anything about baseball, they'll probably know Babe Ruth.
Yeah, you actually have to agree with that. Like, I'm not a big baseball guy. I promise you, I don't know a lot of baseball. I played it as a kid, even high school, but like, I'm not a big baseball guy. So, I know Babe Ruth is, like you said, and I think Babe Ruth is someone that everyone will know. I guess you could probably throw Jackie Robinson, but people might know him like.
Like if you did it nationally, people would probably know Jackie Robinson. But like even internationally, because baseball is an international sport nowadays. If you throw Babe Ruth's name, people internationally will probably know who that is, or at least know the Yankees. But like if you talk about Jackie Robinson or talk about the Brooklyn Dodgers, most people will be like, "Who the hell? What are you talking about? They're in LA."
True. But what was your positives and negatives, Aidan, about the film? I mean, we both did have that one negative. We'll get into, but
well,
do you want to talk about that negatives?
Yeah, let's start with the negatives. I really don't have too many negatives because I think the movie honestly was rather well. So like the only negative I have is it's hard, you can't really prove it, but there's a scene in the movie when a young Ed Charles, who's a kid, meets Jackie Robinson when he's leaving in the train station to when he leaves to go do the minor league stuff with Montreal before he goes to the Dodgers. And like the only reason I think this is a negative is because like Ed Charles met Jackie Robinson multiple occasions throughout both of their lives because Ed Charles ended up becoming a professional baseball player and he won a World Series in like the 80s, I think, with the Mets. So like him and Jackie were kind of in the same circle, so they met a few times, but there's no like actual proof, and I don't think Ed Charles or Jack Robinson ever affirmed it, that either of them that they saw each other in 1946 when the movie said. So like that's the only kind of negative I have is it's hard to find if that's true or not.
See, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know who again. It's not because of that. Because like they didn't really say his. Unless they did said his name.
Oh yeah, they also
I didn't know.
they also straight up just did not say his name in the movie.
They didn't say his name, so you're following this kid the whole movie. Don't know who he is until the end of the
about a quarter of the movie.
Okay, quarter of the movie. You follow this kid around because he goes to Jackie's games, and at the end it tells you, "Oh, actually, he's a baseball player." I'm like, good to know now, and I feel like they shouldn't even. You probably disagree with me. I feel like they shouldn't even have him. They'd be fine. Just focus on Jackie. And I wish they'd talk more about his wife and what her side of like dealing with it, and then her being at home. I mean, there's like that one scene when she needed a babysitter, but it wasn't like a big deep one. It's just like, oh, she had a white babysitter.
I mean, I agree that they probably shouldn't have talked about him that much because like it was cool because like Ed Charles was part of the improbable Mets that won back in the 80s or whenever that happened, but like it's not. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, it's kind of cool, but like I imagine, but like just focusing on exclusively him, I guarantee there were a lot of other black baseball players, probably bigger baseball players people know that rubbed shoulders with Jackie Robinson at some point in time when he was young or just starting out. So
I was going to ask you, like
I would imagine that Jackie Robinson and Satchel Paige at some point in time met, and because I mean Satchel Paige ended up joining the MLB in 1948 as a pitcher for the Braves, but like before then, Satchel Paige was like the pitcher in the Negro League for the Kansas City Monarchs. So like I imagine when they were both in the Negro League, they knew of each other, and Satchel Paige is a whole hell of a lot bigger of a name than Ed Charles is. Just because like Satchel Paige is, by all accounts, even historians nowadays agree that he was probably the best pitcher. Period. So.
See, I was gonna say agree. I don't know who that is, but I'll agree with you, Aidan. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
That was my only negative, though. You have any more negatives, or that was it? That was my only negative because, just because. Anything.
That was it.
Now for the positives. My one positive. Well, I have a few. One of the positives I did like, Chadwick Boseman's performance was. The reason why I liked so much was specifically after Chapman was saying the slurs to him, he strikes out. No, hits a pop fly, someone catches it. Is when he walks in the locker room and smashes the bat, and like you see how upset he is. I'm like that's believable. Like I feel that right now. I can feel like what he feel it, and I feel bad for him. And then I really thought Chadwick Boseman did bring that out, even though he didn't look like Jackie. He did help. It did help of us be like, we feel for him. Like we actually see what he's going through now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pretty quick on my positives because the biggest positive, and we talked about this one quite a bit, was the character development they had through the movie. I did like that from like pretty much all aspects was really good, character development wise. And then the other positive I had for the movie, I just forgot. So that's cool. Shit.
You want me to tell me mine? Tell mine?
Yeah, hopefully it'll retract my mind.
The other positive is I know we keep talking about it. I'm glad they went with Chadwick Boseman, then Denzel. I know we didn't really talk about much about it, but I feel like Denzel probably could have did a good job, but he was 2013. He's a little bit older in age, and like Jack, who was supposed to be young, and I'd rather not have him do CGI on him to make him de-age him. Personally, because 2013 CGI wasn't the best yet. Yeah, so like, Aidan, what would your thoughts be if Denzel actually played Jackie Robinson in a movie?
I think Denzel, he's a lot better the dialogue actor, so I think it probably would have done well. And to be honest, the age thing probably wouldn't have mattered because I mean, melanin really helps with the aging process. All he'd have to do is dye his hair black, and that would do a lot. Because like you gotta understand, Jackie Robinson also served in World War II, so you can kind of go with a bit more stuff age wise. Because like I don't remember what he did in the war, but you can You can be like, yeah, he was in the war. That ages people more. You could kind of get away with Denzel being a little bit older, but like still sort of play it off. Um, the positive I was think that I remembered it now. I like how several times throughout the movie how they did Brand Tricky's character and how he was like, this is about money. This is about the sport. Uh, if we get black people involved in the sport, it'll be better for money. And the biggest reason I'm doing this is for money. Like it's like whenever he'd tell Jackie, like, keep doing this, and because it's gonna be good for you, it's gonna be good for your race, but it's also gonna be good for money for everyone because like you'll make more than you did in the Negro League, and like you'll be able to get more opportunities for everyone and everything. And that's I really like that because like Branch Rickey was a fantastic businessman, and in the baseball world. So it that was really cool that they kept that part of his character in the movie.
Dude, he took a fucking risk though. Like he took like back then, like he took a fucking risk. Say that if that did flop, it probably would fuck him a little bit, not a lot.
I mean, there have been other players throughout history that have been black in the MLB. So it was a risk. It was a pretty big risk, but it wouldn't have been like a monumentally huge risk because like there have been some pretty famous, well, not famous, but there have been some pretty significant other African American players in baseball. Like there were some catchers back in the 1800s, and that was in the 1800s. That was before like 1800s and early 1900s. So like that was when like racism was all, not good. Way probably worse because it was closer. Like people can remember the Civil War better. And so it was still a huge risk, but it wasn't like I don't think it would have been like a absolute career destroying risk. Because like it probably because the fact that he pushed it so hard that may have been why, but I mean there have been other black players in the MLB. He was just
Nice.
he was just making sure that Jackie stayed because that was the problem was staying and staying a like serious and a serious player. That's also the part that's hard.
Also, I just remember. What's your thoughts from the reporter?
I thought it was fine.
I mean, like I was just like, oh yeah, the reporter. Like, you think like his character had an importance, or like it would be fine if they didn't have it?
I mean, I think he was important because he did give some good knowledge, drop some good stuff to Jackie, and he did drive Jackie around and kind of protect him a bit. So I think he was good and was important. And I mean, historically, he was an important person because he was like one of the first black writer for baseball. So I think it was very important.
I think one of my first scenes with him was when they're leaving, and he's driving, and Jackie's like, what's going on? He said, I don't want to tell you, but we got to leave. They're threatening you. And Jackie starts laughing about it.
Yeah, because he's like, I thought I got cut. He's like, oh, I thought I lost my money. He's like, oh man, that part was
because he was pissed. No, you can tell he was pissed off at first, and he asked, and he's like, oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, another positive, the cinematography. I thought cinematography was really good, especially when the running scenes with Jackie going back and forth, and then him sliding.
Yeah, those were good.
And then I know for a fact, I don't know for a fact. I should probably look this up. The one scene where he gets hit in the face, I want to say it's a reverse shot. I might be wrong.
That's way more your speed than is my speed. I don't know about that stuff.
Okay. If people out there who does know stuff like that, please let me know. Because like it looks like a reverse shot if you watch it, but it might not have been a reverse shot. I might just been, yeah. But you got any more positives, Aidan?
Nope, pretty much it.
You got anything else you want to say about the movie before we continue on the next topic?
It was a good movie. They did it pretty well.
Yeah, if you haven't seen 42, you should go watch it. I mean, you can rent it. It's not on anything yet, but probably will be because Netflix does the on and off thing. But it's a good movie. It's definitely a good movie. It's like you can say a feel good movie too. It makes you like, if you're really determined to do something, this would be the movie to watch. You're like, okay, if he can go through that, I can go through whatever. But now to our next thing. now we're gonna rank our top 10 uh, sports movies, and we'll go back and forth. We'll give the a little information about the movie and like why we like it.
Okay.
You want me to go? Well, because I know you didn't order yours. You want me to go first? Go 10, and then you go your 10.
Yeah.
Like back and forth, like we did a long time back.
Yes, I get you.
Okay, before I do start, I do have some honorable mentions I do want to mention that just barely just barely. The ones where Air was it's a sports movie, but it talks about the first Jordan shoe. It has Ben Affleck in it, Matt Damon, Chris Tucker's in it, Jason Bateman. It was a good movie. Talking about how the first shoe was made and the risk they took for Jordan. The next movie is Rush. My brother showed me this actually. It's an F1 movie, and he loves F1. And Chris Hemsworth is in it. I watched it. I thought it was really good. And then Dodgeball with Ben Stiller and James Vaughn. Funny movie. Hopefully, we do talk about that one. That's a funny movie. You can dodge ball, you can dodge wrench, you can dodge ball.
Exactly.
And then Space Jam, which if you don't know what Space Jam is, I think you should. Okay, my number 10 is Rocky. It is definitely Rocky. It's a movie I grew up on. At first, I didn't like it, but growing up, I started liking it. It's an underdog story. Everyone loves the underdog story, and even the first one, I think. Did he lose? No, he tied. The first one he didn't lose. He tied with Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed. But it's definitely a good movie. The stuff he went through in training. The training montage is my favorite. Aidan, you're number 10.
The movie Big George Foreman. It's a recent movie that came out, but it just chronicles the story of George Foreman, and it's really cool.
That's my watch list.
No, it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
My number 9 is Benchwarmers. It's who's in it? Ross Schneider, David Spade, and the guy who plays Napoleon Dynamite. There's 3 of them playing baseball against a bunch of kids. It's a comedy movie. I thought it was Benchwarmers is definitely a movie that I thought really looked up to, and I thought what if me and my friends do something like that? You like Benchwarmers, Aidan?
That's a good movie. Is that apple juice?
He said, "Don't drink that." It does have some quotable lines.
My number 9 is probably American Underdog, the movie about Kurt Warner.
It's a football movie, right?
Yeah, Kurt Warner, who wasn't really able to get into the NFL. He did a bunch of stuff, ended up getting to the NFL kind of later in life, at least 8, for sports wise, and then won Super Bowl with the St. Louis Rams, and then almost won a second Super Bowl with the Cardinals, but that wasn't talked about much in this movie.
Oh,
it's mainly just him going. It's just mainly him about him going to the Rams.
I see.
Yeah.
My number 8. Oh, sorry. My number 8 is Sandlot. Sandlot is a bunch of boys who love baseball. That's the best way I can explain it right now. And what's his name? He's it's gonna bug me. Sandlot. Who's in Sandlot? Oh no, but my favorite quote from Sandlot: "You play baseball like a girl." Best comebacks in movie history, right there. Did you watch Sandlot?
I haven't in like a decade.
Damn.
When I first watched it, I didn't like it very much. I never really came back and rewatched it.
Oh, is that why you never watched it?
Never rewatched it.
Sad.
I watched it.
Oh, that's sad, Aidan.
I mean, I watched it eventually.
I guess.
Watch it
But
eventually.
you're number 7.
My number 8. Excuse me.
What is it? 8?
For me, it is. You went first, fucker.
Oh yeah, duh.
My number 8's Dodge.
That's my bad.
My number 8's Dodgeball. I love Dodgeball.
Oh,
I love Dodgeball.
who would you say what character are you? You know who you are? You're the guy in the wheelchair. I forgot his name. His name. Actually, you know what's funny about Dodgeball? Patches.
I'm the announcer. We'll see how it plays out for him. It's bold strategy, Cotton. See how it plays out for him.
I just realized. So the guy in Dodgeball plays Pirate is Alan Tudyk. He's the guy who plays Chapman in 42.
Oh yeah, he is, isn't he? Yeah.
Two different characters. I'll tell you that.
No, they're exactly the same. They speak exactly the same. Comedy exactly the same. Basically the same person.
Yeah, pretty much. My number 7, right? Number 7, The Longest Yard.
2005 one?
Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
Adam Sandler one. I mean, I don't really have much to say, but we touched about it last week a little bit about it. The reboot. I did like it. The one thing I did like is that it was a shit ton of fucking wrestlers in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know Ashley were friends with all of them. Like, Steve Austin, he was born for his role. Everyone's like make jokes. He was born for his role.
That's how a white man runs a football.
He was born for it. If you haven't watched Longest Yard, I do suggest it. It is a good, funny movie.
My number 7 is probably A League of Their Own. It's about the women baseball during World War II when all the women were playing baseball. Good movie.
There's no crying, babe.
There's no crying in baseball. It's a good movie. Stars Tom Hanks. Also has Madonna in it. Good movie.
We are gonna watch that. What am I talking about? My number 6 is Creed. Creed has Michael B. Jordan in it and Sylvester Stallone, and it's this spinoff from Rocky. Apollo Creed had a kid, and he wants to box and wants Rocky to train him. So it's like also another a good underdog story. I did like it. Fun fact: this movie, at one point in my life, I did want to do boxing. Like, I bought gloves and everything because of this movie.
That's funny.
And then when I met my wife, I was even trying to do a little bit, but I just never did.
You said you started boxing your wife before you guys were married?
No! When we first met, back in high school, when we first met.
So when you guys first met, you threw on the gloves, started punching her up. I get you.
No!
I get you. All right, my number 6 is The Longest Yard. Because it's funny, and it has a lot of callback. It surprisingly has a lot of callbacks to the first Longest Yard movie. Like, the entirety of Smoking the Bandit guy's character. I forgot his name. Not good. Yeah, but great movie, very funny. Good movie. All right.
Top 5. This is gonna be interesting. But I'm curious what you have now. My number 5. I know Aidan's not a basketball person. Mine is Coach Carter, starring Samuel Jackson. It is about a coach who goes to the school, and these kids are, these basketball players are like pretty much don't care. They're like want to be gangsters. And Coach Carter goes and cares about their education. He does not care about. He does care about sport, but he's like, your education comes first. So he tries to help them and shape them to young men and not thugs. Have you watched that, Aidan?
No, I absolutely have not. I don't watch pretty much any basketball movie. Don't care.
Oh. Okay.
My number 5 is 42.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so low.
There's a lot of better ones, to be honest. In my opinion, my correct opinion.
But my number 4 is McFarlane USA. If you do not know the movie, well, probably don't. What's his name? Kevin Costner.
I like Kevin Costner.
Stars in it. It's about a cross-country movie.
Oh. I've seen clips of this. I've never actually watched it.
I do suggest it. It is another underdog story about he moves down to California. He has a team full of Mexicans, and you go like pretty much see what each one goes through. And my favorite scene of the whole movie is about this guy's like heavyset. His name's Danny Diaz, and he's like they made a state, and they need one per like more point to win because like lowest point cross country wins. So this man, he passes everyone like he's going, and then Kevin Costner goes, "That's not my Danny Diaz," and they win state. But I do suggest that if you don't know what cross country is or do, you would appreciate this film a lot. Okay, right. Your number 4.
My number 4, another Kevin Costner movie. It's a Field of Dreams. It's a classic. if you build it, they will come. And you know, kind of the reason why he built this because like him and his dad love baseball, and he wanted to build it so that the Shoeless Joe Jackson, some of the Black Sox can come and get closure on their baseball career because after the 1919 Black Sox scandal, they kind of got kicked out of baseball forever and banished from it, which is stupid because Shoeless Joe Jackson should be in the Hall of Fame, but he can't because the commissioner, who like the reason why baseball has a commissioner was because of this scandal, and he decided to be a dickhead and said you guys are banned from baseball, even though they went through a whole criminal court proceeding and were found not guilty. But yeah, so that's the thing. But that's why I like Field of Dreams so much because you know if you build it, they will come. Very good movie. It's got James Earl. It's also got James Earl Jones in it.
You're gonna give me shit for it. I never watched Field of Dreams.
It's okay. It took me like until like 2 years ago to watch it, so it's fine.
Okay. I don't feel that bad then. My number 3. If you know, I'd be shocked if this ain't on there. If it is, I'll be a little proud. If it isn't, I'll be shocked. Remember the Giants.
What,
and is on your list.
Which one?
Remember the Giants, Denzel?
Remember the Titans?
Oh, Titans. Nope. Oh, I'm dumb. I've hit Giants. Remember the Titans. Oh, my God.
It's a good,
yeah.
It is a good movie. It's not really one of my favorites, but it's a good movie.
So, Remember the Titans is like Denzel's starring in it, and it's when segregation, right?
No, probably. It was a large.
Wait, I'm pretty sure it's when right after it ended, and you know you have this battling of races, and Denzel's like, you know, we're a team, we're gonna work as a team, no matter what. We don't see race at all, and it's a good movie. It's a sad one too. I almost cried. Didn't though. But your number 3?
8 Men Out, which is the movie about the Black Sox scandal and like kind of why it happened and stuff like that, which is a very, very good movie. A lot of good actors in there, like Charlie Sheen's in there, Michael Rooker's in there, a lot of good actors in there. Very good movie. Very, very, very cool movie about a period of baseball history that is not looked upon very fondly. But, you know, it's where the 1919 Chicago White Sox threw the World Cup because Mr. Comiskey, who was the owner of the White Sox, refused to pay them a living wage because he's a fucking retard. So so a way for these baseball players to work to get a wage that was deserving of their time, they went to some gamblers and decided to throw the World Series to get a bunch of money, which they ended up not getting. But that's kind of part of the sad part about the movie.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Well, my number 2 is 42. Nothing much to talk about. We just talked about it. You know, I liked it. I loved it. But your number 2, Aidan?
It's the movie 61, which is the movie about Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle, and it's really cool because it shines a light on Roger Maris, who's someone who I didn't really know much of, even though I kind of do know a bit about baseball history. I just never really knew much about him. Kind of a very cool person, kind of a very low-key person, and then also talked about Mickey Mantle, who is a really cool figure in the Yankees' history as well.
Nice. Oh, my number 1, I count as a sports movie, is a sports drama, is The Iron Claw. The Iron Claw is it's a tragic story about the Von Erichs family, and I'm not going to talk much about it because we do have it on our list, and I really do want to talk about it and want Aidan's thoughts about it. But The Iron Claw is a tragic movie about Von Erichs, and it's a wrestling movie. And I'm a big wrestling fan. I know Aidan's a little bit wrestling fan of the older generation. And it's one of those movies that stick with you, and it's sad. I almost cried, but didn't cry in this one. It's really tragic. Zac Efron stars in it. Jeremy Allen White, who's known from The Bears, also in it. Like, it's a good movie. I really suggest it. It should have, you know. I really think the Oscars are stupid. They should have got nominated for Best Film, and Zac Efron should have got nominated for Best Actor. But in your number 1.
My number 1 is Ford v Ferrari. Fantastic movie. I love cars, and I love the story of Shelby American, and I love the story that like Ford decided to get into racing just because Ferrari refused to get sold to them. So they're like, okay, fine, we'll make our own cars and do it ourselves, and that was really cool.
Christian Bale's in it, isn't he?
Yep.
Christian Bale, Matt Damon?
Matt Damon, yep. It's a very good movie. One of my, I just absolutely love that movie.
Nice. But I think you have anything else to say about your list, Aidan?
Nope.
Okay, before we wrap up, there's like a few things I want to say. One is that after our recording, I am going to make the social media. I'm like, okay, I sat here and like, I gotta get it done because 2 reasons. I want to get that started so people can actually see what the first 2 episodes. If you haven't seen it, please watch them. And just so you know, I had an idea that I'm going to once a month. I thought this would be interesting. If we have our fans out there, our audience, check out some movie from us, and we'll both just pick one movie, and we'll do it for that month, like not the month for one episode.
Okay.
So it gets them involved, and then see what if we have watched it or not.
Okay.
Like we both, if it was a movie we're going through and like we both like have seen it, and we're like, no, we don't want to talk about it. Like such a party, how I don't listen when you're like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's what I'm gonna do after this recording is get that situated so we get that. Also, I am gonna post our lists and we have your opinions about your thoughts about our top 10 lists. But thanks for listening, Aidan. Thank you. I hope you're feeling better. I know that this week you weren't feeling good, and everyone out there, please stay warm. Yeah, stay warm. Actually, stay warm, and hope everyone's feeling better, feeling good. Gets better if they are sick. If you're not sick, please wash hands, hand sanitizer. But Aidan, you have a wonderful day. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening.